What's up, everybody? DFS Army MLB Pre-Lock show live on the new channel. I'm here by myself right now. It is Friday. We do have 13 games to look into today. We have a lot of pitching options. We have still waiting on weather updates, I guess. I haven't double checked. I know there's some potential issues on the East Coast. But I feel like most games or all games should probably end up being all right. How's everybody doing out there? Happy Friday, Chuck. Happy Friday, Harlock. Interesting games ahead of us this evening, to be honest. Welcome in, Chad, as well. We are here looking at these 13 games. Feels weird without somebody on with me. But the big series, I guess, this weekend is happening in Las Vegas. The A's are finishing up a 6-game stand in Las Vegas. They get the Rockies in a ballpark that allows a lot of home runs, apparently. So I would assume everybody's going there. What's up, Fact? Welcome in. I'm all by myself. But let's kind of look at the pitching options first before we really go into the offense, I guess. Do you find 18 to 20 DK points successful for a 9K SP? I mean, it depends. Generally, I'm aiming for 25 from everybody. Like, I'm not playing a value return game. Because generally, winning lineups and optimal lineups end up having multiple cheaper bats in because one of those guys hits a home run or whatever. So I'm just looking for raw points for my pitcher. If my 9K guy like McClanahan gets 20 points tonight, I'm probably okay, as long as a bunch of other guys don't blow up. Drago, is Ben Brown or is it Assad pitching? Last I looked at it was Javier Assad getting the start tonight. So, I'm on Assad, but I would much rather it be Ben Brown, to be honest. Who do you like for value? SP2, attempt to play Flaherty. I'm not playing Flaherty tonight. My pitcher video dropped like 45 minutes ago. I'm still working on my pitcher notes on the site, but Flaherty is not in my initial pitcher pool. I think I have 13 names listed initially. I am going to drop that down by a few, but there are at least ones I'm considering. My cheap pitcher is going to end up being Javier Assad, even though I don't like it. It's definitely he because of that ballpark that he's pitching in. I am tempted to play some Gage Jump, even though it's in that ballpark, but the Rockies just suck against left-handed pitching overall, so I am interested in Jump. I'm going to play Route because of the ballpark. I don't love it, and I'm not planning to go super heavy, but, I just like the ballpark spot, and I like the fact the Cubs are coming out of Coors, to be honest. I like Rocky's price. I'm still slowly coming around to Roki Sasaki as an actual SP option. There's upside against the White Sox. The White Sox are certainly dangerous from the offensive side of things, but I think Sasaki's figuring some things out, hopefully. But, I'm probably going to play Savage in this price range too. He dominated against the Yankees a month ago or so. Debating Sonny Gray. I don't know what to do with Nolan McLean. He hasn't really been showcasing upside, so I do have some worries. But like McClanahan just has a great matchup, so I'm kind of hoping he just returns the form at some time. Yeah, I was hoping it was Ben Brown, but then I think I saw Brown last night, and then today, once I got seated at my desk and started looking, all of a sudden Assad was showing up. Jump is interesting. I mean, the elevation thing isn't that big of a deal, right? Like Vegas is 2,000 feet above sea level as well. It's just the fact that like Colorado's not good against left-handed pitching. This Las Vegas stadium would have more home runs hit in 162 games than Coors does by far, because Coors just isn't a home run park. It's tough because pop-ups turn into home runs, as we saw with Jonah Heim, a few days ago. But I think Gage Jump is talented enough. Like I mentioned on my pitching video, Jump has made 6 starts in this ballpark this season, 3 of which were really, really good and 3 were bad. Because this is the A's AAA team's home ballpark. So he's familiar with the ballpark. So he's shown to have success. But again, it is still major league hitting. He's not taking on AAA, minor leaguers. So there is volatility to it, but I do like Gage Jump a little bit. Savage projection owned. It is up there, but it's not ridiculously high by any means. 24% on DK is, rivaling 12% on FanDuel because we have double pitchers. So I don't think it's too high. Generally, I don't worry about pitcher ownership until it gets up to 35% plus. But I haven't broken down my pitchers yet to get percentage ranges. So I'm not sure, where I'm going to fall on somebody like you, Savage. I assume I'm going to end up above on you, Savage, just because, I'm not playing Tanner Bybee, if you read the article earlier today. And I might not end up playing Nolan McLean. So, right there, that opens up over 30% of my ownership to be able to put on other guys. I can tell you I don't really want to go over 35%, you Savage. So if his ownership creeps up to the mid-30s, then I'm probably going to have to take an underweight stance. Assad just faced the Giants too. A little worrisome, of course. That is an issue, but again, this is one where the ballpark's going to help, right? Assad's not some locked-in guy. He bounced around quite a bit, but still, of those cheap guys, to me, he has the highest upside on this slate based on the ballpark. And I do think San Francisco is still bottom 3 or 4 in total runs scored in all of baseball. So that stands out quite a bit. But to be honest, you could try to convince me to play 15 different pitchers on the slate, and I probably would be okay with it. I have to try to split hairs to find ways to eliminate guys. So Shane Baz probably might get eliminated. I don't think Assad, I don't think Gage Jump are going to be eliminated because I like the leverage that Jump provides if he does crush against the ownership of the Rockies. But you could talk me out of playing Sonny Gray, McLean, like I mentioned as well. I'm paying $12K for Mizorowski. I don't care. It is what it is. I am paying $10K for Joe Ryan. Joe Ryan at home has been much better. Spencer Strider is in the article today. I will go severely overweight on Spencer Strider. So that's probably my biggest stand on this slate right now is I am going to take the gamble with Strider. Super volatile. He shows flashes of the guy that he was pre-injury, and then he comes back down to earth and walks guys. But still, I think there's enough upside there that if Mizorowski only has a so-so outing, like there's upside for Strider to be SP1 at the end of the night. And at 4%, I'm willing to go pretty heavy on that and hope that I'm, right in that scenario. Yeah, I mean, McClanahan makes a ton of sense. Mizorowski and Assad or Jump feel pretty good to me for a lot of things that I'd be doing as well. Because there are just ways to save money at bats. There always are. Saving money at bats is much easier to predict and find than it is at pitching, quite honestly. So, 27 pitchers listed. If I started eliminating just guys for sure that I'm not playing, make sure I didn't remove somebody that I was considering, but for sure these are the guys I'm removing. Eduardo Rodriguez. So there we're down to 13. How do we eliminate other guys? It's a coin flip, really. Should I keep picking on San Diego with pitching? Probably. Should I maybe eliminate Sonny Gray? Probably, because I'm not sure that he has the upside. He's just allowing a lot more base runners than we're used to seeing out of Gray, and it doesn't come with increased K upside. That's my biggest issue, to where like Sonny Gray can be fine, put up 16 fantasy points, and I guess is not necessarily helping me take down the GPP. So that's kind of where I'm looking at there. So if I remove Sonny Gray, I have to decide on like Nolan McLean, Shane Baz, and then maybe Ryan Weathers. Like I like Ryan Weathers too much to not play him. Do I play Landon Rout? I think I do, but I'm not used to having 13 pitchers in my pool, so I need to find a way to make myself feel more comfortable. But yeah, that's kind of all I have for pitching on this slate. Like Mizorowski's just been so good that I'm not trying to fade a 12K pitcher who's been that good. Fantasy points are just so strong at this point. But like I mentioned, I'm getting ownership from fading like Bybee. Probably going to end up fading McLean. Like that's probably the one that I'm going to go with. He just hasn't been showing upside. And while the Braves are without Acuna, it's not like their lineup is super weak at this point. Switching over to hitters. We see it's just A's and Rockies, right? The top 12 in ownership are in that game. Seven of the top 12 are actually Rockies right now. Yeah, weather could remove Baz and Gray. We have to get updates on the Boston-Baltimore games from a weather standpoint. I'm fine with removing Gray at this point. It's like Shane Baz that I kind of would be able to play just because for obvious reasons, right? Like San Diego struggled so much at this point. Brent Rooker on the IL, huh? But yeah, how are we going to get different within things? It's tough, right? Like you have 7 of the 9 Rockies in the projected lineup in the top, 12 of ownership. That's an issue. But we're going to see some updates to some of this ownership because Jacob Wilson is being activated for the A's, so he's going to be in the lineup for sure. See if I can get just just go by team and take a look. So like Alika Williams isn't going to be in the lineup, right? Because it will be Jacob Wilson. Colby Thomas will be in the lineup because they are facing a left-handed pitcher, but maybe he stays a little bit longer because there's no Rooker. They could have Jonah Heim in too, like they've been starting him against left-handed pitching with Shea at DH. So that's possible for them tonight as well. So like if Heim is in the lineup, that's an automatic like leverage spot to save ownership on the A stacks is taking Jonah Heim over Shea Langeliers. On DK. On FanDuel, you can obviously play them both, but I wouldn't do that on FanDuel because then you're not playing Nick Kurtz. And I think I would rather play Nick Kurtz than Langeliers tonight, I think, as long as Heim is in the lineup. Rockies wise, yeah, I mean, the lineup just doesn't look great. I like Cole Carrick, big fan of him. First major league homer the other night, so that's always nice. But most of the lineup I just don't love against left-handed pitching. Hunter Goodman's probably the one that stands out the most. But I don't know. I just don't know what to do with this ballpark from a game theory perspective. Like, game theory wise, it's automatically just fade them because of the high ownership. But is this ballpark so good compared to the average park at the major league level that we just can't? I don't know yet. As far as, like other offenses that we want to consider aside from that Vegas game, big on the Brewers tonight, which I don't love the Brewers, but I'm kind of big on them because I think Painter's just too weak at this point. Big on the Orioles against Griffin Canning. Adley and Gunnar look like they're in amazing spots, or just about any lefty for the Orioles. Plus, Pete Alonso is always in play. The game in Cincinnati is intriguing. People forget about just how offensive that park is, especially when we have Las Vegas on the slate. So a couple of lefties in that game that allow base runners, so we could see some higher scoring. Dodgers always in play. No Shohei tonight, though, so the lineup looks weaker. The Rays have an aggressive team total, but I don't feel as great about the Rays going to the West Coast. Are there any offenses out there that you guys are really considering? I don't know if I can get behind the Astros with such a strong team total either. It's a rough one. So I feel like you can just get most of your exposure through Jordan to have the upside. I like Detroit much more than what their implied run total is against Tanner Bybee. Some of those guys have been swinging it pretty well, and then there's a couple guys that have some decent BVP against them. What do I think of Minnesota? I think they're in play. I just don't love stacking Minnesota these days, but especially their left-handed bats against Kyle Leahy. So like Cody Clemens, Brooks Lee. I'm not big on the Padres just because most of the lineup's just been bad. Tatis is swinging it better. Like, I expect Jackson Merrill to wake up at some point, but Manny Machado is terrible. Maybe Gavin Sheets. I can't expect Freddie Fermin to stay as hot as he has been because he's just like a no-bat catcher that suddenly is hitting home runs. But I mean, I can understand a sprinkle into the Padres. It's not some team that I want to be super reliant on at this point. I think the White Sox probably are a team that we should be considering if Sasaki goes back to what he was previously, because that's the type of offense that can take advantage of that with some bigger numbers. I probably don't mind the Giants a little bit as sneaky. Obviously hate that ballpark, but Matt Chapman's been on fire. Jung-Ho Lee just can't stop getting on base. So there's some upside with some of the Giants. Probably feel better about them as a mini stack than a full 5-man stack. I mean, it's obvious given the slate that there's so much pitching that it's really tough to find spots to expand on offensively. And that's my worry. Looks like Tattoo's here joining us.
Yeah, freaking, God damn it. I sat down in the chair a little after 4 o'clock and I was like waiting. And then like 4:30, I dozed off.
Perfect. Yeah, I mean, for me on this slate, everything just seems so straightforward from an offensive standpoint because there's so much pitching. To me, the big question marks come at the pitching spot of like how are we going to break it down, and how are we going to make having a larger pitcher pool than normal work, which is possible, right? Like to give people like breakdown of how I build out MME. Like the reason I dropped my pitcher pool down so far is because I'm trying to cut down on the number of combinations, right? So I do that, plus then I only mainly stack 12 teams, and then I mini stack every other team. What that does is just kind of cuts down on my possible combinations so that when I hit, like I have a better chance of hitting big rather than being super spread out. So like on a slate like tonight where my pitcher pool is larger than normal, I might have to cut back on my main stack pool, right? So instead of doing top 12 teams, I might have to do top 8 or something, so that I don't spread myself too thin. That's the biggest thing, is because you want to be able to get your top pitching options to show up more with your top teams. So I haven't really thought through how I'm going to do that. I don't have my stacks posted on the site yet. I don't know if Tattoo has his up or anything, but
not my stacks yet. No.
I mean, the only one I have listed is the A's as the top stack because I mean, when you have a team total almost 10, that's a thing. So I don't know. Do you want to jump in with your thoughts on pitching and et cetera? Because I've kind of gone through it all from my end at this point.
I did FanDuel, so I just really, love Miz, but we know that game has got to be coming eventually. That he just gets torched or something. But yeah, for FanDuel, it's really, that's my guy. I haven't written my notes for pitchers yet either, but something I really like, Sonny Gray, for some reason I really want to take some shots with.
That's one guy that I'm trying to get off of just because I don't know if he has enough upside for me.
Yeah. And Joe Ryan. BB. I think for me it's gonna, kind of be like, who am I gonna pair with Miz if I'm gonna try to get those A's bets? So, or am I just gonna skip Miz? I haven't really made that full decision yet. So,
I mean, I just don't know how anybody could skip playing Miz.
Yeah. Just so, 12,000.
I mean, I'll take the upside.
Yeah.
It's been almost a month and a half since he's been less than 30 DK points in a start. like there's legitimate opportunity for him to have 10 or more DK points higher than any other pitcher on any slate that he's on. So like for me, it's just impossible to ignore that difference, right?
Yeah.
You know, like the big debate comes on slates where we have guys that are 10K plus are one, can they struggle enough to not blow away the field? And then two, can anybody in the rest of the pitching pool get to what their like average game is right now? Or, you know, or can they even approach what their top 2% outcome is? And the pitchers going tonight just can't match Mizorowski.
No, I've played him, I think, every slate that he's been available this year, pretty much.
Yeah.
And by me saying I played him, mean, you know, like in my single entry, probably.
Right. I can't avoid him. Some people will be like, well, then I have to fade Joe Ryan. Like, that's the reason I'm playing Joe Ryan, is because I think a lot of people are going to try to fade him. Like, I think our 14.9% projection on DK is high. I expect him to kind of be overlooked because people just go to Mizorowski and then have to go cheaper. Or they go with like McClanahan and then obviously Savage and try to go cheaper too. Because they want to play the A's, right? They want to play Rockies bats. They want to play Dodgers, even though Dodgers are without Ohtani. So I don't feels fairly straightforward, despite the fact that I have 13 pitchers here on the screen right now. All 13 are currently in my pool. A couple of them will be coming out. Sonny Gray will be coming out. Nolan McLean will be coming out. Yeah, I would have absolutely loved it if it was Christopher Sanchez versus Miz. I would have been playing both guys. I like playing left-handed pitching against the Brewers, so like Sanchez would line up really, really well.
Probably get to see that in the playoffs. Well, maybe.
Potentially.
Philly makes it.
I mean, since Don Mattingly took over, Philly has one of the best records in all of baseball. They're like 28-12 or something like that. But yeah, I don't really think the Red Sox total should be as high as it is. I don't think Cleveland's total. Well, I guess, I mean, it is Flaherty. He does give up runs, so maybe. I don't think Toronto's total should be as high as it is, but they do get Alejandro Kirk back tonight, from my understanding, which does help their lineup out. Mets total seems pretty high for taking on Spencer Strider. Astros total seems kind of high for just not being great offensively.
Yeah.
Rays total seems way too high for me. The Rays were in my article today. That they're the only non-pitcher slot in that article today. And if I'm saying their total seems pretty high, you can guess that they're in the not section of that article. Giants run total is probably a little too high.
Yeah.
I have not looked at dongs or anything yet. Probably need to start looking at. So I need to looking at those numbers. You can kind of see them here in the DS because we've added this column. Some of the guys don't have any numbers yet. Some A's have ridiculously low numbers. Schwarber's only plus 318 against Miz. But if I was going to bet any Philly to homer off of Miz, it's going to be this guy right here at plus 473. Bryce Harper is 2 for 2 with a home run off of Miz. But I don't want to bet, Miz to give up a home run, basically.
Yeah.
Gunnar Henderson feels like a good bet to homer tonight.
Yeah, I like Gunnar today.
Jackson Holiday plus 660.
Wow.
I hate this refresh thing that just automatically takes me back to the top.
Oh my God. It makes me want to shoot somebody sometimes. Damn it, who was I going to say too that I know I was going to say Buxton, but it was somebody else. My brain locked up.
Adley's plus 510. I never look at the ones that's low though. So
Arizona. I was wondering if anybody from Arizona was really popping out since your favorite. I remember from writing them up. Rice Hoskins has a good history. Well, 2 home runs. But.
Yeah, I just have no desire to bet on anybody on Cleveland to do anything.
Yeah. What is Buxton today? Can I actually play him?
Plus 270. So no, you can't. $271 is his number.
Hey, I can play Juan Soto, 344.
Did you say 344?
Well, I was on somewhere else.
Oh, I was going to say because he's 263 on DK.
Yeah, I need to
ridiculous.
Use this instead. Use the Dodgers Max Muncy.
He's 315.
Arizona.
I don't know why Muncy would be at. Why is Muncy so low? They're taking on a lefty.
I think it's a confusion thing, like between the two names.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think if you look, everything's the same for them. It's spitting out the same projection, all that. I think it's just confusing.
Oh, yeah. You have any other questions out there in the chat? I can't think of anything
Arizona
else.
guys are popping.
I mean, Ketel Marte is plus 270.
Yeah.
Jordan Lawler returns tonight for them. I kind of like him in his return.
I wouldn't mind taking a shot on Corbin Carroll at 407 or Arenado.
I like Gabriel Moreno at plus 576. What's up? Who's a good team to
Yeah,
build for a
Gabriel
single
Moreno.
entry?
He's hot right now.
Tavius, like it really depends on how big of a field single entry you're doing because a lot of people are going to stack the A's tonight. Their team total is nearly double what any other team is on the slate. So it's really hard to ignore what the A's potentially could do tonight. I think my single entry team would be the Baltimore Orioles. I say that because that's the team that I 5-man stacked in my hand build so far. But I think that's the team that I'd go with. I mean, I'm still stacking the A's quite a bit.
Yeah. But you might be to like 5-man stack the Orioles and maybe get in Kurtz if you don't play Petey, Shea if you don't play Adley, or you can just get it in.
I think I would rather play. I'd rather play Adley than Shea tonight.
Yeah,
that's my stance.
You could just try to get 2 other pieces from the Athletics, just to.
Yeah. We can see by total ownership, like the A's are projected to be twice as owned as the number 3 ranked team here. I like Causer a lot. Alonso made my initial hand build, but like Causer for sure. Gunnar and Adley were the 3 that I wanted to jam in. And then I went with Jackson Holiday and then Alonso. But
Holiday, it would be all right. My
you
buddy
see,
was at
Colorado
the game.
ownership is close to the A's. And if you look at leverage, the A's, the highest owned team, still number 1 in leverage. Colorado, the number 2 highest owned team, the lowest leverage, or actually third lowest. Sorry, there's 26 teams tonight.
I'm guessing he's not in the lineup, perhaps, but Tyler Neal had a what the hell did I do? I closed my damn window.
He is in the lineup, like he's sitting like 8th or something.
But I believe that he had a good, I want to say a good history, but what the hell did I do?
Yeah, but I just don't trust any of old Tyler O'Neill's history at this point because he's.
Oh no, he was just
so
2
bad.
for 6 with a home run. Nothing spectacular.
Yeah.
But he's cheap.
With Baltimore lean which 2 A's, it kind of depends on who you're trying to force in for sure. I mean, Kurtz would be, pretty ideal. Outfield is tougher. Because I don't really want to be too invested in Colby Thomas because of the chance he comes out of the game, after 2 at-bats. Like, I would love Jacob Wilson, but I really want Gunnar Henderson in my Baltimore stack. So, like, that messes with that.
Maybe it's Zach Geloff.
Geloff or Max Muncy, as a dart option from the right side for the A's with Kurtz. And then you have to, I don't know, play one of like Tavares over Alonso or something.
Yeah. Soderstrom.
I'm really shocked that San Diego is the 6th highest owned team on DK tonight.
Baez hasn't looked amazing.
Yeah, San Diego's looked far worse. Like far worse. You just have to stack the Yankees, I guess, even though it's Savage. Savage hasn't looked good the last 2 starts. The Yankees, 3% total ownership down here at the bottom.
Ooh-wee.
So you can tell me I can get the Yankees and the White Sox at less than 8% total ownership?
Yes, please.
With their offenses and how dangerous they are, I will take that. Milwaukee's far too low owned as well, the number 2 leverage check team. They are the most expensive stack team. They're most expensive team to stack on average because their prices are so accelerated from playing in Coors and then Las Vegas right after it.
Yeah.
So that's very interesting. Yeah, there are definitely ways to get leverage tonight. And it comes in offenses and not necessarily pitching.
B.
So you may see me overrank Milwaukee, the White Sox, and the Yankees in my stack rankings tonight. I have to get working on that as soon as we're done on the show here, and then get working on my pitcher notes. But
same, my dozing off really hurt me.
In fact, I am putting Milwaukee as a tier 1 stack right now while we're on the show on the site. I'm going to play the leverage game tonight because I'm also playing the chalk game with the A's. So, my CSV tonight is going to be very polar opposite within it. Super chalky in one spot and then a bunch of unowned teams along with them. But yeah, you want to go position by position? Do you just want to give some of?
Yeah, I'll just go through a name.
I did mention since you're Arizona, that could be the game to me that could approach what the A's put up tonight because that ballpark, people just forget about what that ballpark can do. So that's kind of a game that I'm interested in. I don't feel great main stacking either team a lot right now, but I guess the way I want to do things, I'm going to. But both sides could win tonight for sure, or win a GPP tonight over the A's. But they're both owned too, right? Arizona's the 3rd highest owned team right now on DK. And Cincinnati's the 7th highest. All right, back to the position by position thoughts.
Let's see. Catcher. Oddly, there's definitely something to pick through. I know who you really like, so I'm just gonna say I might go Hunter Goodman. But it's so many to really, really like. First base, I think, is just, it's Kurtz. Second base, I kind of like Vargas from Arizona. Third base, it's probably Zach Geloff. Shortstop, it is Gunnar. Outfield, it's just so many to name. But obviously, I like Soderstrom. And let me scroll down here. I really like Jordan Walker. For non-guys over there, Jack Caglione. Or, a couple of guys I like. Lars Nootbaar.
For me, a catcher, it's Adley for sure, right?
Yeah.
Two other guys that I like.
Guys I knew you really liked.
Yeah. There's two other guys that I pivot away from the top three, even though I do like Gabriel Moreno too. Dylan Dingler just keeps hitting home runs, and Tyler Stevenson swinging it pretty well, and in that ballpark against the lefty. So like those are just three low-owned catchers that combine their projected ownership is right around half of what Hunter Goodman's is.
Low-owned and much cheaper.
Right. And then obviously, so you get a couple things to be different. First base, it's like Nick Kurtz, and then for me, it's like Freddie Freeman, Alec Burleson, Andrew Vaughn or Jake Bowers, one of the Brewers guys. Second base, I don't feel great much about Spencer Steer's got higher ownership than I would love to see, but I like Spencer Steer.
I think I even wrote in my notes how bad second base was.
And then Jackson Holiday, I mentioned earlier, being part of my Orioles stack, super low owned. So, third baseman, I really like Jordan Lawler in his return in that ballpark, and he's 2,400. So like that, he's just a guy that allows me to get what I want from the A's. Really. Shortstop, you said Gunner. I'll say Colson Montgomery against Sasaki. He's back in the lineup after missing a couple games, I believe it was. So he or Matt McLean's been really strong for the Reds. Outfield, you can just pick whoever. Since their percentage is so close, like Soderstrom, but Henry Bolte for $1,400 less in the same game, but their ownership is basically the same, so that's annoying. You obviously can play Lawler at the same position in the outfield, but no, the Detroit guys, Riley Green, Wetzel Perez, and Kerry Carpenter are all guys that I'm considering getting to double-digit ownership. I mentioned Colton Cowser as well. I don't think there's anybody else that was. Jung Ho Lee, you can just always play right. Like, I don't know, he's getting on base 2 or 3 times every single game right now. So like he just gets super overlooked. He's a 0.5% own almost. But yeah, it's kind of where I'm at right now. Got to put together my cores and stuff on the site and finalize the stacks and then get building. And I feel behind today too.
Yeah.
Was watching some World Cup for a little bit.
Yeah, that put me to sleep.
Got my World Cup cup from McDonald's, except for I don't know who Jimenez is, so that's makes it less cool. I assume he's from Brazil or Mexico, but
I'd rather pluck my ball hairs than watch soccer.
Anything that's going to make me money, I'm going to be.
I'm a fan of money. It's such a boring game of sissies.
It is. There's a lot of flopping and crying going on.
And soccer players are always douchebags. So.
Yeah, I understand why Drago likes it now.
Yeah.
It's all starting to come together. I'm sure he's in the chat. I'm waiting for him to comment before we call it a day.
But I mean, high school is like soccer players, college, everything. Soccer players were dicks. Yeah. Of course, baseball players are can be douchey too. So.
Not a chance.
I mean, everybody knows hockey players are the coolest guys to hang out with.
Yeah.
I thought baseball players are laid back and fun. The frat boys of athletes.
You got a shout out from Fact in the chat.
Oh, thank you, sir. And then, like, the dude came in and asked me a question that morning, and I talked to him, and he, like, I can't remember his name now to save my life. I want to say, like, Ty or something. But then he, like, posted where he, like, won a bunch of money last night. So.
But we are going to call it here. We'll be back on Monday. Not sure what time yet. I assume somewhere around 4. I don't know. Like, I don't expect them to have a ton of day games, but we'll see.
Yeah.
You want to join us? Links in the description. Best Ball 2026 gets you 20% off any NFL or VIP Core 4 membership. Raz or Tattoo gets you 10% off any MLB package if you want to join us. Those members out there watching, hit us up in Discord with questions. That's all I got.
No.
We're going to take off.
Chapman home run.
That's some that I will not be betting because I don't want to bet on Bo Bichette against Betzer Strider. So, but yeah, we are back on Monday. Hopefully, somebody in here wins something this evening. Check out all of our content over the weekend. I think I'm covering every MLB slate this weekend. Tattoo might be covering 2 out of 3. But yeah. Hit us up in Discord. Best of luck tonight. Helmets up, and we will see you on Monday.
Got the best coaches in the game. We really ain't playing. We regroup up in the Slack chat where the coaches debrief. We be piecing these puzzles, occupy the chunk of the pie. Ain't no lie when we hit the block. Helmets casket is got. You be seeing helmet after helmet, helmet after helmet. First place, second place, 5th place, 8th place, 12th place, 15, 16, 20. So many helmets, you got blurred vision, we got too many. Take your check. Oh man, shit. They got us fucked up. Army, regroup. We pledge always to have that edge. We don't fire warning shots. Competition just dropped. We locked and loaded before lock. Whatever the time, yeah. Do you even correlate?
Being the best requires a willingness to outwork your competition. There's always someone smarter, faster, sharper.